Hey, welcome everybody. It's Christina Merkley. This is the Process Popup. Matteo was just saying it hasn't been here for a while, so curious on the evolution, and it does continue to evolve. This started February 2020 when the pandemic was kind of sweeping towards us in North America. Maybe even then we didn't know what it was going to be. We still don't know exactly what it's going to be and when it's unfolding, but hey, however many months, years later, I'm continuing to hold these. This, I think, is number 38. And it's recorded, and it is, I was saying it's kind of emerging into a satsang in and of itself. I read a satsang in one of my other courses. And satsang just means gathering of true people, right? So we're really getting into what is our own individual truth and meeting that. What we typically do is, in a second here, we're going to shift into stillness. So we'll do 10 minutes of meditation. And however you do meditation, right? It could just be focus. Some of you have very developed practices, so do what you do. And if it's just doing your best to just sit there and be quiet, that's so many of my clients, my individual clients now, I'm starting sessions that way because just with the swirl of everything that's happening, it's just a nice break and a nice connection, right? To stillness and the bigger part of what's going on, even in the midst of everything else that we're dealing with, that stillness that's underneath it. So we'll do 10 minutes of meditation. We'll pop back up after that. Then it's called reports. It's not check-ins per se, like we do in typical facilitation stuff. It's reports. So it's voluntary, so you certainly don't need to do a report. But if you have been here before, it's nice to give us a report, like what happened on that other piece of work we did, right? Or some of you have been through Shift It and stuff. You might want to report on what's the momentum, right? With your inner work, with your development stuff. Not necessary, but reports is one thing. And then what's arising? Because what X marks the spot, this is different every time. Different people come, who we are is different today. The world is different, right? So we'll see what's arising now, what's most up. And depending on what shows up in the container as being up, I have a whole gaggle of tools, right? 20-something templates, and I also can work spontaneously in various different methods. A lot of you are process people too. So I just kind of cherry pick out from my collection of tools what I think matches what's arising. And we do a lot of self-inquiry because that can meet anything that arises. We also do things called constellation sometimes, systemic constellation. Orphan rescue is a big one. Some of you might have alpha mind hooked up. We can do some combinations of alpha mind and orphan rescue. Don't worry if you don't know what that stuff is, but some of you do. And it's always incredible every time. So I'm kind of getting goosebumps knowing the group of people who's assembled here, that this is going to be, ooh, there goes the goosey bumps again all the way up and down my neck. Okay. So something cool's about to unfold here. So with that, I'm going to set my timer because otherwise I can go on for eternity sometimes. So I'm just going to set the timer for 10 minutes Canadian time. And you're welcome to keep your video on, turn it off, whatever's most comfortable for you. You'll see me. I'm going to mute myself so you don't have to listen to me breathe or hear the dogs bark. And I'll meet you back after 10 minutes in stillness. And thank you. It's a gift to be able to sit together across the world like this. Yeah. back to this plane. And when you're ready, and however it wants to unfold, we'll just see what reports are here and then what's here for rising. What's arising? More stillness. Yay.
It was really nice to just reset the vagus nerve. I was like, I needed that. I don't know if it was the time of day or the Monday or what, but that was great. And for me, I think I'm here for cross processing. Like Matteo, it's been a while since I've been here, and I've been processing a lot lately. And I'd like to just hear that I'm not alone. And not that I have the same thing in common with other folks, but that I can cross process when needed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Guarantee you're not alone. And often that happens, that parallel processing, right? What people bring forward. Yeah.
We're on the non-check-in reporting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any report? How you
Okay.
been? What's unfolding? Inner work?
Yeah.
Awareness? Yeah.
So I've got them echoing from what I heard Heather just share. And Christina, true to my past attendance to these things, I've popped up typically with when I'm in a crossroads, kind of like, and I'm once again in a crossroads. And this is more, it's yes, career, definitely career. And there's another meta layer on top of that is just life and me as an individual, and I'm coming off of a loss of a family member. So like I am deep in grief brain right now. And also what a perfect time to take a time out. So I'm considering like short-term disability and figuring can we swear in this recording? You probably don't prefer swearing. Is that allowed?
Oh, I don't mind. Anybody who does, just
okay.
Yeah. Beep yourself. Yeah.
Apologies up front, but swearing feels good these days. And
Yeah.
what a great opportunity right now to just get my shit straightened out and figure out the path that will fuel me and really inspire me going forward. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I can feel I think self-inquiry would be the route to go. Yeah, we may go right into that, but let me just see if there's any other reports that are ready to pop. Otherwise, I'll follow that lead right into you, Matteo.
Well, I'd like to report in because I was at the last group
Mhm.
on the 23rd of September, which was my birthday, and we did some soul retrieval and the polarity square on visibility, invisibility, which was really powerful. And so I've continued doing the polarity square maps and integrating a lot of deeper material around these key archetypal forms. Masculine, dark and light, maiden, dark and light, and then was working with the inner alignment map for the inner masculine and starting to open up dialogue with those parts, which has been really powerful. And I can definitely feel my consciousness is raising, and there's a lot of movement in my energetic body. Sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable, and I feel like I'm becoming more sensitive. So allowing that to be okay, and just taking care of myself as when I need to. And one of the exciting things this weekend was I introduced the polarity square map to my boyfriend, and we did it together. And that was a powerful kind of test of how we can continue doing consciousness work together and witness one another without judgment. So that was great. So I'm feeling grounded and more aligned, and also aware that there's, 3 major areas in my life that I'm working towards visioning into. And so I'm feeling more prepared to do that. So feeling grateful for that. Thank you.
Excellent. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. See you drop in. Thank you, Jill. That was super powerful. That was out in the last easy. Many of you might have seen that work. Yeah. And cool to see it's unfolding, and polarity is such a powerful process, and how cool to be able to do that with your partner. Wow.
Hola, everybody.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, my name is Shelley, and I'm in Saskatoon. And I guess by way of check-in, I had the opportunity to work with Christina and held by the group on an orphan rescue, multiple rescues. And it was a game changer for me. I am at peace and in peace, which is awesome. Not everybody gets to do that in life, hey? And where am I right now is I've had a summer full of time to play, and I really liked it. But I still really love doing the work. So I'm just kind of pondering, how much I want to work and how much I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you,
There's a polarity. Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you, the playing's so much fun. Anyway, it's good to be with you all.
Thank you. Good to be with you. We may come to that second, I think, with the work and play potentially. Yeah. Thanks, Shelley.
I'm Essence, and I'm living in Essence. I'm using the name until the end of the year. I may end up keeping it, but it's to remind me of being in and walking in my essence versus my analytical mind that can create all kinds of wonderful things, real and unreal. So the last time, I can't even link together the last time, Christina, looking at litigation work that I want to do. And this week, I'm having an interview with the litigation topic people for a position that they've posted, and really struggling with what's ethical as I engage with them as an employee, possibly, versus the wound that they've created in me that still has not been healed. And I layered that with, but you're running out of money and the insurance company hasn't paid yet the claim on your damaged stuff. So here's a great opportunity to go do something easy with people I don't respect.
Not so easy.
Not so easy.
It's pretty complicated. Yeah.
And recognizing that they want to draw from me and learn from me but not pay me.
Mhm.
But by being in the organization, I'll be committed to full participation and helping them redesign. So struggling with the need to make money and where to do it.
Yourself. Mhm. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, we've got 3 rich things to work with to start. So I think we'll start there. Okay. And we'll find our way in terms of process. Matteo, may I start with you? I think we're just going to go with the order that they emerged. And I typically run whatever our start time is. I run around 2 hours. So we've got 90 minutes left. It's really look after yourself in terms of timing. If people need to leave, I ask that you use the chat just to say goodbye. Because sometimes we can get into processing stuff, and when you leave, I don't know if you're leaving because you need to leave, or did something get stirred up and do I need to follow after and make sure? Are you okay? So if you can truncate all that by just leaving a little note when you leave to say goodbye, that I know you're fine, you're just heading out. Do what you need to do time-wise, okay? And when I work with an individual person, Heather had mentioned about kind of co-processing. You may very much relate to what's going on with that person, or you may not, right? So it's okay, whatever is going on. So a lot of you are process peeps too, so it's okay if you're intellectual side or you're interested in the visual skills, right? That side of you is kind of checking out what I'm doing. All of that can happen at the same time. So it's all okay. Anybody have any questions, comments, or things before we start, just in terms of ground rules and stuff? Swearing's okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share screen. And have we done an inquiry together, Matteo?
I
Not
think so.
sure? Yeah, okay, good.
Some of the language I'm hearing in this session is new to me, so I wonder if it's just, I don't know. I'll let you-
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll be sure to tee it up too, not only for you, but for others who this might be a new process for.
Right.
And it's a pretty remarkable process, and
Right.
it's kind of a go-to. It's sometimes multiple processes could be used, but especially with grief, right? You just kind of want to just be with what's here. And so you gave me, I'm just going to draw a little, I think it's screen shares on now. So I'm not going to have you repeat it, but I just want to honor it. I just want to honor your report, right? And there was various things in there.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to kind of connote it this way, right? Like, so here's kind of some different points, this point, that point, that point, that point. And I'm going to throw out different phrases. And what we're doing is consciousness work. We're working with consciousness through the form of you. So there's going to be your personal consciousness, but there's also the collective consciousness there too. So some things can operate at a personal level, and sometimes they operate at the group and the whole system level.
Mhm.
So we just want to welcome all that. So one of the phrases I'm going to offer right off the bat, given you brought some things forth already, is I'm going to say them, and then it's a invitation for you to apply them within. And when you apply them within, something may happen within you. And so you're going to be the translator. You're going to let me know what's going on inside there as these things flow through your system. And we just follow it. Your consciousness is going to inform us what's next. It kind of happens in movements and flows and layers. So with that stuff that you already shared with us, the sentence is going to be, you are welcome here. Just kind of to all that, this and this and this and this that you brought forward in your life and in your work, just say, hello, hello, all that stuff. You are welcome here.
And so now I internalize that and speak to.
Just see what happens. And it can be anything, as you kind of just, sometimes it might be a little bit of relief. Sometimes it might be one of them rises up. It can be anything. So you tell me.
It does feel good to hear that, and to be in a space where I am and feel welcome. The last 40 plus days have been what I would imagine is something like trench warfare in World War I for me.
Whoa, whoa, okay. So let's get that. So the 40 plus days and trench warfare. And so same thing, you're welcome here.
Yeah.
And then there's probably going to be, because trench warfare is intense, right? There's probably going to be a no thank you to that. There's a version to it. There might also be some yes in there too, because maybe, you know, you understand the power of contrast, right? And that powerful things come out of powerful contrast. So we'll start with the no, just welcoming that no. If there's any kind of aversion to trench warfare and what you've been going through for these 40 plus days, that's welcome here. And that just kind of agree with the no. If there's any kind of aversion or dislike to that. You're right. You're kind of saying to those parts inside that don't like trench warfare.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little lost, but it's I mean, losing a parent it's a first for me, and especially when it's unexpected, and also having just my entire family is in Europe, in Italy mostly, but so in the States it's just been me and my folks. So now it's me supporting my mom, and she's having to learn how to live her own life and sustain that by herself, on the same breath as losing her 50-year partner, her husband.
Yeah.
So that's been the warfare that I've been battling. And I just got home from their place for being there, you know, impromptu relocated to attend to what at first we thought was just helping my father through some sort of illness that we could get him rehabilitated from. And it quickly devolved in a matter of 2 weeks in passing. So I'm in my own home now, just a couple of days, finally starting my own grief process. So
Yeah.
after subbing in for my father, right, to try
to help your mom stabilize her. If you're willing, your father's name.
Mario,
you are welcome here. And just deep respect and well wishes to Mario and his passing and transition and unfoldment. Hello.
thank you.
Yeah.
So flip side of that to the yeses, it's you know, there's an opportunity for me and my mother to be head to head in this thing together, or should I say shoulder to shoulder? Well, at times head to head, because you know, we each have our own dabda cycles. If you're into that whole grief processing, defensiveness, anger, what is it? I forget. Bargaining, I think, is the B, and then denial and acceptance is the last A, but it's not necessarily a linear path of a workflow.
Right. Nice and neat. Yeah.
It's bumpy and nasty. And anyway, she and I got some quality time together, and right now we're at a point where it's like, you know what, she needed me out of there just to get her own mental space back, and try and think on her own a little bit without me trying to manage all sort of, let's call it the business ends of this kind of process of transition. So yeah, it's I'm flipping it to a positive, from a perspective of where I'm employed. I think I'm just reading now the benefits information, access to some potential additional time off beyond like the first week or two of wellness, and then another week of bereavement time off. But short-term disability is what I'm possibly looking at with, with full pay for a couple weeks at least.
Good.
And so, what an opportunity that is to, now that I'm here in my own space and I have some distance from the whole thing, at least geographically speaking, to be able to reset myself and also figure out, all right, I've been in this consulting firm and consulting work for 4 years after a prior career in like IT project management as an internal dependent employee, let's call it that. And I leapt into consulting at this firm to do OD and visual work. And I'm not really doing that work.
Mm-hmm.
And, the reflection of that from colleagues and leaders is, oh, well, it's all up to you to bring the OD and the visual into the work. Well, yes, and a lot of what I'm finding myself up to my shoulders in is the intricacies and the ooze that is federal government contracting work. So it's just navigating the glue most of the time. Like that's where most of my energy is, and that's directly opposed. It's in the opposite direction of where I'm headed, like from a passion and heart work kind of perspective.
Okay, let's get the heart in here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and just welcome. So we're going to welcome the shift, right? There's all this massive, deeply important personal work and family work and transition work happening with your family. And here's this other side now too. Also and in the midst, the link here is the grief process. And this stuff that's been brewing for a while here as you get yourself into this new environment. It plays out for a couple of years and you just really, it's not playing out the way you'd like it to. And the realities of the particular clientele and geography and stuff that you're based in and what that really means for your day to day. Many people here can relate because they're either in or have been in those environments. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I hear the heart kind of calling out here saying, hey, this kind of stuff, this is what I'm about. Not this stuff.
Yeah, that's just soul sucking, right? Like that. I have a pretty vague sort of elevator pitch or purpose statement. I am drawn. I'm passionate about helping individuals and human systems improve the way they live and work. That's a pretty broad umbrella of whatever that could be, whether it's wellness, whether it's coaching. And I find myself maybe gravitating, like, not that the world needs another coach amongst us, but I feel like
sure it does. Right now, yes, it does. Yeah.
All right. Well, look at the company I'm in, right? Like, just being in DC, there's a few channels of coaching communities that I'm part of, and everybody and their mother seems to be a coach of some sort these days. And
okay, so slow it down.
Slow it down.
Slow it down. So this is good. It's shown us the next layer, right? So now you've gone into the heart work, and the visuals is part of it, and then you've got this wonderful mission helping individuals and human systems improve the way that they work. And then now coaching's popped out. So let's just say hello to coaching. Hello, coaching. My old friend or nemesis or whatever it might be. And then whatever this is, right? That doubt or resistance or whatever label you want to put on it, right? But but around coaching, welcome that too, because that's valid too, right? So there's a love of it, and then there's this stuff. So just welcoming that stuff.
Cool.
You're right. We don't like that. Everybody and their dog being a coach.
Yeah, it's just, it's funny. One of our I'm going to say because she is in this family, colleagues, and she's definitely part of like this world. And she was a visual OD and change practitioner pre Agent Orange arriving into States. And she steadily and quickly lost. She escaped the U.S. administration ever since then, and she also was going through a heart change with OD, and she fell out of love with the O in OD, and she moved to coaching, like, because she felt, and I'm leveraging her experience because it's echoing for me, the satisfaction that one can get from having a bit more traction with a solo to solo conversation versus a solo to organization attempted conversation. And so the level of impact is what I'm hearing there. And I've done some coaching here and there, like, even though I don't hold a certificate in it, but that has, my memory of that is echoed well, right? And
good. So now you flip to the other side. So now your consciousness has done the balance. And so here's some yes, please, right? So there's a yes, please for satisfaction, and a yes, please for traction, and a yes, please for impact. So just welcoming them. Oh yeah, right. That's why we're into coaching. That's why so many people get attracted to it. And yes, there's all degrees of that commitment and skill level, etc. But it's like, yeah, give me some of this. This is yummy.
Right. Like, I would feel highly energized by that, day in, day out, having that kind of a life experience.
Okay, and there's another one. Energized just showed itself. Hello, energized. You are welcome here. Yes, please.
Yeah, it would be floetic, if you will. Like,
ooh, that's good. Floetic. Ooh, I love that. Okay. Floetic.
I think that was an album by someone.
Was it? Yeah.
It's a musical album from like the 90s. I forget who it was.
Well, whoever you were, good term. I like it.
For them.
Floetic. Yes, please, to floetic. And now I'm just going to invite, this might sound a little weird, but floetic is somewhere there in your system. And it's probably, given what you brought forward with all this O, right? The O and the OD and the Fed in the OD, right? It's probably got a little crunched in somewhere in your system. So I just want you to kind of, if you can locate it, and even if you don't know, you can just kind of say it out to your whole system inside there. Hey, floetic, you're welcome here. Hey, floetic, would you like to stretch? Would you like to maybe take up more space? Because consciousness gets into patterns, right? It gets into conditioning. We do things. Sometimes we don't even know we're doing them, right? And especially when we go into different environments where different parts of ourselves are more desired, we kind of put on that stuff, and then the other stuff, it like goes somewhere, or it shrinks, it retracts. So just do a little psst to these things, but particularly floetic. And just it's an invitation. Hello again. And would it like to kind of like wake up? Like, would it like to, it'll know what it wants to do, but it's a little small, it's a little retracted or something. And so now there's an invitation to remind it, hey, you can take up more space if you'd like. See what happens when that invitation comes. There might be a yeah, but that comes right in, or maybe this kind of aspect of you listened, right? And maybe it perked up with that invitation.
I mean, I would love it if my floetic took a larger role in my life experiences.
Okay, kiss the mind intellect, because I think that's what just said, I would love that. Or it might be the heart. But let's for sure, this is like a brain. If you can imagine this little squiggle is a brain, and I'm going to write mind on it.
Okay.
Mind, intellect. First off, give it a kiss, a hug, a high five, whatever feels appropriate to you, something to honor it.
The mind.
Yes, because everybody here, we're going to have really highly developed intellects, right? And for the environment that you've been in, you've had to, and frankly, you even had to do that with helping your mom and everything, right? That's part of just being able to take care of the doing, take care of the task. So just want to do a real bow of honoring to your mind, and
Mhm.
everything that it's done for you, particularly in the last little while, these last couple of years, with work and what's just happened with your dad and your mom and you, right? Thank the mind. Thank you. It's service, right? Minds have hearts.
Mhm.
And when you just, I would offer to just recognize the heart, the love of your mind, of everything that has got you through.
You bet. I was when I jumped in, like everything that I like and have done for work when I'm in that flowy kind of moment kind of came to a fulcrum for this, for service in this particular cause. So mom was just floored and just did not know what to do. And my default in those situations is it's like Action Jackson kind of mode. Like, what are the most fewest and most critical things I need to attend to right now to like help us get to point B and survive point A. And so I was design thinking and taking over, the kitchen, the dining room wall, Post-its, Kanban boards at the wazoo. To quote myself at the time, I OD'd the shit out of the situation. My mother had no clue what was going on, but she caught on quick because it's like it's visual kinesthetic work. Like, look, mom, this is where we are. This is where we need to be. Like these are the tiles that we have to attend to, and it's just one by one. So anyway, sorry.
No. This is totally on point, because that's mind, as we're appreciating mind, is going, hey, look what I just did. Look at the design thing I just did. Look at the sticky notes.
I can help with this.
Yeah, and exactly, and that's the love, right? That's how mind was able to bring its specialty to the table to be able to assist in that situation. So we want to love mind. And there's this other aspect that's showing itself, the heart and the flow. And so now we're going to go back to that again, because mind came in, and it's okay that it did, because it's tracking, right? And it actually is in agreement, because I would kind of love that. I would love some floetic, right? So it's not against it, which is good news. So now we're going to go back to that, whatever it is, what flow, heart, and we're going to go back to it, because it's there, mine's there, but that other part is there too. And you're just going to go, hello. And you're going to just see, like, hey, would you like to get bigger? Tell your mind, this is like liberation work. This is an invitation for the flow and the heart to liberate. And so it will know, it has intelligence. And so it will know if it's ready to do it, how. And so I'll offer some things. Sometimes it's a stretch, like it's like, oh, I'm just going to stretch out here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's going up and going bigger. Sometimes it's rooting down. Sometimes it's going out radius all over the place. So just see, as you get in contact with that flow and that floetics and that heart, what's its pleasure? What does it want to do? Because it's been the mind and the intellect's been there doing its design thinking and everything. But this other aspect, it has its own druthers. What's its pleasure?
It wants to be set freed.
Oh, yes, please. Yes.
Set free. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So by all means, so just agree with it. Yes, please. Set free. Good idea. We like that. And see what it does. It's free. Just tell it it's free. Go for it. It might have forgotten. Let's see what happens as you say, yes, good idea. Go for it.
So part of me is thinking of this in relation to the day job and what that would feel like to just set it free in that work. Mm-hmm. And another part of me is envisioning it in just life, imagining there was not a day job, right?
Okay, good, good, good. So it's given you, when you've kind of teased it and you've kind of invigorated this part, the mind's now going, oh, this could fit. This could fit in work and this could fit in personal. So just agree with it. You're right, mind, this could. Because we got to bring our minds have to kind of go along with this, right? Often. So just agree with it. You're right. You're right. There's definitely work and life applications.
Mm-hmm.
And see what happens.
Well, the life applications feel limitless,
Mhm.
and the work applications feel limited.
Okay, great. So let's get them down. Now there's a polarity work there.
Yeah. Just because
So life is yes.
life's a hell yes, I think.
Ooh, okay, good. Yes. And then we got work. We'll deal with work in a sec. Let's
Yeah.
go with the hell yes. If we can get at least some liberation, let's go for it. So hey, that kind of floetic, go for it. Yes, there might be some tightening here. We can't fully go into the work thing. That's okay. So just let it, it'll know, just invite it, expand, move. What's it want to do with that? It's limitless, you said. So by all means, go for it. Just let it occupy that. Let it stretch out. Let it rise up. Let it run wild. Set it free.
Yeah. I think by letting my floeticness free in my life, I can see both the visual practitioner in me and the EOD and change practitioner in me evolve and blossom into what really caught my eye to begin with when I started this journey like 10 plus years ago. Actually, longer than that now. And so there's a freedom there to really step into that, the way of doing this work that really like captures and again fuels me.
Yes. Good, good. So funny, isn't that interesting? We started with the hell yes, and what do you know? Work came along for the ride. Bingo bango, because it went into the freedom to step in with this stuff and to fuel me. So just a yes, please. Good idea to that. By all means, keep going. Yes, please, because we can feel that energetic change. It's going back to the sparkle it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
What's happening? Yep.
Sorry. Were you gonna ask something?
Yeah, just gonna get a beat on what's happening. It sounded like a little deflate, so you went into a yeah, but.
Yeah, it's recognizing that the space that I'm in now is only it's highly limited in terms of what we can do. So if I'm applying this into like the main contract that I'm working on, you know, and there are texts going back and forth about it as we speak, and they refer to like teasing out training plans for a system implementation. It's like, nope, that's not me. Like, I get that the person in this contract role needs to be that, but that's not me. So the floetic here is useful because I can get, let's just say, crafty with setting up some solid boundaries here.
There we go.
But you know, people, yeah, it's a setup for, again, being pigeonholed in like a change manager kind of role. And
Okay, good, good. So you're like, there's no floetic there.
no, it's very bound. It's very
So I can get crafty. I can have solid boundaries. Just say good idea to that. Yes, please. Good idea on that. We're not going to get all caught into that again.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, just see, it might not feel particularly satisfying, but that's actually a lot of journey we've traveled to. So just do a little bow of appreciation to the floetic, and just see if there's anything that it needs. As you kind of, as you get in dialogue from it. It's kind of like I was thinking that you already kind of appreciated mine. So I'm thinking we do the same thing over on this side. Maybe it's even just, how is it with you? Is it angry with you at all? Or is it love you? What's your relationship to it and it to you? Floetic.
Floetic. Yeah, there's definitely some rancor there. Like, come on, dude, let me out. Like, just let me out of the box, because I still claim that I'm not an artist. I still claim like I may be a creative in some ways. Yeah, I saw the head tilt there, Heather. Because people refer to people like us as artists. It's like, I'm a collaboration designer is what I've landed on recently, thanks to IFVP, which is like, you know what? And then I can explain that to someone that doesn't know what that is. But yeah.
Go back to floetic. What does it say? It's saying, let me out, dude. And it probably is saying, yeah, you're an artist.
It is angry. Yes.
Okay. Apologize.
Okay. Do you want me to verbally say that out loud, or
whatever you want to? You can throw it inside, you can say it out, but it's got to be authentic because it's pissed at you.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, just say it inside your head. Just say, I'm sorry. You're right. Tell it you're right, because understandably, mind and intellect and those other aspects, right? That Action Jackson of you has taken over. It's taken up most of the space. And fluetics has been crammed in there. And most things that are crammed in get a little pissy.
Oh, yeah.
So invite its anger, like, hello. The pissiness, anger, or whatever of floetic, you are welcome here. You're right, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens as you acknowledge that.
Well, when you were saying those last few words, my mind started reviewing like the structure of my days, and they are currently forbidding space and time for my floetic self to show up or to develop.
Mine's such a partner in this, so agree with mine. You're right, mind. You're right.
Yeah. And it's a ramp up in this contract and in this project too. So it's an overburn and over rev to get myself caught up. So like all the healthy stuff, and I'm considering the floetic stuff to be healthy, versus all of this other sort of.
So that was mine. And that's understandable because their left brains, they only have certain ways that they can process. So it's computing, it's running through stuff, and that's what it's coming out with. Go over to floetic.
Okay.
Because that's got a different intelligence and a different take on it. So just see how it responds. Like, hey, the mind's just computed that.
Yeah. There's like a I miss you feeling.
Nice. Yeah. Let me out, dude. And I miss you.
Yeah.
Sweet. It's so sweet.
To echo Shelley's words earlier, because the play is so much fun, and to be in the floetic work, that is the play. Like, and there's nothing wrong with like work being play, especially if you can make it 100% of the time, right?
So if there's nothing wrong, there's everything right.
Totally.
In making work play. Yeah.
Mm.
So just agree with that. I miss you. You're right. Making work play. Like, hey, floetic. Hey, play. There can be, maybe you can even figure out in this situation, or if not, that's okay. Some situations it's just not possible and we step away from. So there might be a bigger shift for you, just like you've had before, right? And that's okay if that's the case. But just see what floetic has to say. Anything that can be done with this particular one, or what's its guidance, because it misses you and it wants to be let out. And then your mind's going, hey, but we have this contract and we have this work and we have this stuff that we currently are in.
Yeah.
Go to it, not your mind.
Okay, fine.
Where is it? Where do you feel it? Where's Floetic?
It's in my gut.
Okay, cool. Hello, gut. You are welcome here. Put
Yeah.
a mic up to the gut and let it speak.
Gut's feeling a little nauseous right now.
Yeah, because this is big change stuff. You're up against it. Like this is really going to be some doing things differently than you do. So it's taking some risks in the current thing and pushing up against it and trying stuff, and or making a big change to get yourself the hell out of there.
Yeah. And here's a weird tie-in. It's my dad he never saw like room for frivolity and right.
Yeah.
So there's like all that mountain of like thanks for how you raised me, and it got me to where I am or who I am, acknowledging and appreciating that. And
Do it. This is a quick one for Orphan Rescue. Do come here. So those younger aspects of you, right? That understandably, and if we went into it, Dad's going to have his context about why he did that way and why he, conditioned you that way, and probably underneath it, it was in trying to be in service, right?
sure, yeah.
Didn't fully get there, but it was trying to be in service. So, but parts of you got hurt. So you reach out the arm to those little ones. They could be little guys. They could be adolescent. They could even be, young man aspects. And even since you've been through so much these last couple of weeks, it's the adult man, right? Who you're about to take this leave, right? Who's there still at the office, even while you're in this kind of limbo land right now about what happens. So just do, hey, I'm here. Those parts that got impacted by Dad and his conditioning, I'm here. I hear you. I know that this is difficult. I know that this goes against script, and that it so much so that it actually makes me a little sick, because it was dangerous to go this way before. And it was very smart of younger yous to not to fall in line, right? It was survival. It allowed you to get through the family. It allowed you to get through the business world. Many of us can relate to this. We've had to chop off parts of ourselves, right? And there's lots of wounds, but now we all have to be the one to comfort those aspects of ourselves, right? You're now adult man consciousness. I'm here. I'm here. I get it. This is hard. I get it that it makes you kind of sick and that it's scary because it's going against the parental and the societal scripts.
Yep.
So just hold them as they're a little seasick, right? Because we're moving fast here. It's okay. It's okay. We get it. It doesn't all have to happen this red hot minute. And it's okay if what is nauseous, because when one goes up against this kind of programming, it's discombobulating, right? And it takes the system some time.
Yeah.
So lots of compassion, lots of understanding in your solidity, even if they're a little nauseous and seasick, you're like, I'm here. I get it that you're a little sick. The contemplation of this makes you a little sick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how they respond to that. And the gut, inviting the gut to do what the gut wants to do. You did the heart, which is that flow. Invite the gut to liberate. Maybe it's rooting down and becoming like a mountain. Maybe it's extending out. It'll guide you. What's that gut want to do? Beyond the nauseous. What would help with the nauseous?
What's coming up here is, and this may be the mind, just,
Let's hear it.
pardon?
Let's hear it. It's okay if it's the mind, great. We'll go with it. Yeah.
wanting a desire of wanting to be in that community. When I say that community, it's basically like this community, right? So
Okay, the mind wants to get in on it. That's awesome. That's good news, if I'm understanding, right? So these line up, these three centers, right? Heart, you started with heart, then gut showed up. Well, mind did too, right? But now mind saying, hey, I don't want to be left out. I want to be part of this. I mean, we're getting a full map here, so you might not be able to see this, but I'll
I
box
see
this
it.
out. Yeah, right. So if I'm tracking right, this is good news, because mind's saying, hey, wait a second, heart and gut are getting to liberate. What about me?
Yeah, there's with the alignment of those three, right? And
Yep.
there's the big circle might be spirit at this point, right?
Cool. Ooh,
So there-
I just got goosebumps. Yes, that's a yes. Yes.
So there's a synchrony here, or a harmony that is approaching, right?
Yes. Beautiful.
The more time I spend envisioning myself in this space, I'm like, the gut starts to relax, the nausea starts to
Mhm.
subside. The sort of brain pain of just hanging on too tightly starts to release.
Beautiful. Yay. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please to all of that. It's unfolding. It's unwinding itself. Excellent. Through the teamwork, right? Through the collaboration, through the group, right? Literally in this group, but you have a group within. This group within is aligning. Yes, please.
Yeah, and as a result, the heart starts to open, and so that's
Yay. Yes, please. Yes, please. You are welcome here, heart. Yes, please. Open, open.
when the magic
Good,
happens.
good idea. Magic, please. Yes, please. Yay. Magic happens. Just happened. Okay, just ride with this and just agree and welcome them all. And mind, just like what happened with the other two, the heart's already doing it, heart's expanding and opening up. Invite the mind to, it can liberate too, right? All this OD, corporate, right? Like it's like mind has forgotten. It's thought it just needs to stay in that kind of parameters. Oops, but it doesn't need to. Presley's getting in on it. So, okay.
Here, we're-
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm liberating minds. So see what it wants to do. It's the same thing. Does it want to stretch out? Does it want to go up? Does it want to go down? Just invite it. It doesn't have to stay inside your cranium.
I want to picture like a blossoming tree, like a nice big, just lots of branches and very fertile is not the right word, but prolific tree. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. Agree with that. That's super wise. And frankly, it's classic, right? So the mind into the tree, beautiful tree of life, classic. Yay. Yes, please. Bang on. Absolutely. And just feel what that feels like as it enlarges and it goes out into this magnificent tree.
Feels lovely.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, please. Yes, please. By all means. Yes, you can get in on it too, mind. Yippee. And so feeling that mind all expanded out and yummy, and that heart open, and that gut connected in and dropped down and rooted, because a tree's got roots.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
all these systems are in play here. They're all lined up in ways that really benefit each other.
Right on.
And benefit you and your work and you and the world, right? Each of us, as we get these centers aligned and we get these energetics going in us, it's a benefit to the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just doing the work here and just invite it, like you'll continue. It can feel a little odd to begin with, like it's unusual, right? And it's like, it's okay, we'll get used to this. This is a new way of being, right? Because the other patterning, that other conditioning, you got used to that, So now it's like, ooh, oh yeah, it's consciousness. It can reconfigure. So it's reconfiguring here. So just breathe into it and just like, oh yeah, hello, you are welcome here. And I think this is probably a good place to leave it with you. Just that's your, be with that and see what unfolds as you come from that internal relationship.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to the group for being.
Thank you for container holding, folks. Yeah, boy. Not every inquiry that can we get to alignment with all three of those centers. So, and that feeling through that tree. Okay. For folks, whatever's going on in your end, it's okay. Sometimes it's like the mind and intellect's getting it. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't. Some people really dislike inquiry, so that's all okay. Gotta laugh at Susan. Not a big fan. You haven't dropped in a while. Here we go. There's that damn inquiry again. Yeah. And then others, you can be like me, appreciating, you know, the profound of what this means, right? And the territory that we were able to travel. And Matteo, you letting us in to be able to travel along with you, right? The human experience through the form of you and your mom and Mario. Yeah, and your journey. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna give this a quick save. Somewhere is my mouse underneath here. There it is. Take a breath. Now's a good time to stand up and stretch because we're going to segue somewhere else here. Just gonna give this a quick save. That was delicious. Okay. Shelley, we kind of covered some interesting terrain there that was, I would think in some ways, parallel tracking for some of your themes. So I want to check in with you and just see, and by all means, if there's anything you want to say to Matteo, use the chat. If there's anything that you want to connect with, because I'm going to keep moving on process-wise, and it can be a little abrupt. So please use the chat if there's anything that you want to share with him. And how it's landing for you or what it provokes. But I am going to specifically go to Shelley because sometimes these things piggyback and I'm kind of getting the sense that's what's happening. So we're going right into you. How was that?
So what was your question?
You brought forward work and play.
Right.
And there were some aspects for sure in there with what Matteo went to. So I'm just seeing if any of those in particular stood out for you. As we connect in, is it still present for you, this workplace stuff? Did it get stirred up at all with what happened with Matteo? Now where are we?
Well, I was totally in with you, Matteo. So I wasn't really thinking about myself at all. And now you're asking me to think about myself. I don't know. You'll dig. I know you'll get something, but I don't know if it feels like a polarity that I feel conflicted. I feel curious, right? Because work. I'm my own boss, so I get to do what I want, which is awesome. So the work that I do is purpose work. So it's not a commitment to a company. I don't have an O in my D. It's work that I love.
Yep.
So I don't feel conflicted. Why did I?
Let me see. This is my guess, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
you want to keep playing.
Who wouldn't? Come on.
Yeah, but it sounds like there's a yeah, but I have to.
Yeah, I love playing, and I love playing in the work that I'm doing too. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I want to give myself permission to do as much or as little as I want, and to decide. Yeah, It doesn't have to be either or. I think maybe I just want to get my head around what both ends looks like. Is that a polarity?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a polarity coming into unity, into a whole by the looks of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you know, that's all our minds trying to figure out what's going on. So let's just kiss them.
Oh, okay.
Good try. Okay, I'm just going to bring up the screen. I'm just going to meet what's showing and trust the process here.
Okay. There are a couple of decisions. Well, I guess one decision I'm pondering is about, I do have a side hustle on some work that I love to do, and whether or not I want to continue with that. So that's definitely a polarity.
Any particular color you're feeling at the moment?
When I think about that decision, it feels heavy. A heavy color.
What's a heavy color for you?
A heavy color, kind of gray.
Okay.
And my play color is fuchsia.
Just going to start with the gray here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's going to be your base. We'll see as play comes out.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, yellow or something. Actually, you said fuchsia. Yeah, I want to save that for that.
Orange
So,
is
so we've got work and we've got play. And there's some sort of dance happening here. And we had, maybe it's different words, but some similar stuff going on with Matteo's integration there.
Mm,
And then as he kind of met that, and then there was this kind of whole thing emerging too, right? So it's like, here's the polarity, and then here's the whole. And then once you said that, then you went to, I have a decision.
yes, in part of the work.
Okay, yeah, so there's a little slice here is
Yeah.
going into the decision. Okay, so tell us about this, because and then that went kind of heavy on you. So
Yeah.
we'll first off, let's welcome heaviness. Hello, heavy. You're
Hello.
welcome here. It'd be nice if we could always have life that's light, light, light the whole time, but damn it, we're in the 3D plane, so we have to have both. And so, and we tend to want to not like heavy, right? So,
I feel it in my chest, Christina.
okay, yeah, so let's welcome that. So it's going into the chest.
Squeezing me.
Yeah, squeezed. Hello, chest. Hello, that squeezed feeling. And it's uncomfortable to welcome it, but it's here. You might as well, because there's not really many other options. We can try to fight it and ignore it and all that kind of stuff. Drink it away or play it away or exercise it away, but heck, it's there. So just hello, hello, chest. Hello, squeezed feeling. You are welcome here.
Come on in.
Don't like you very much. I kind of have a no about it because I don't like this. Most people wouldn't, but you're here.
Mm,
Just see what happens as you meet it.
well, that's cool.
What
Yeah.
happened?
See, I'm kind of dialed into my body, folks. So half of my chest felt lighter.
Yes,
And
great.
it's the left side.
It's always hard to do it this way. Okay, that'd be this side on you. So the left side
Yeah.
felt lighter, you said. Is that right?
When I welcomed it there.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got that heavy and lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hello, you are welcome here. Hi, lighter.
Mhm.
And probably on the right side, not so much, huh? So you kind of got a halfway. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's the heavier. So there's our polarity there between the two of them. So just welcome both.
Shit. Oh, look what I see.
What do you say?
Well, left and right, male and female.
Okay,
Shit.
great. Yeah, okay. So the left on the body is the female, correct?
Of course.
And this is the male. And then you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
So there must be, and this fits in with some of the stuff that Jill reported on, right? So masculine, feminine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Oh boy.
So let's welcome that. Let's welcome the feminine, right? Female, literal female, and then also feminine principle, right?
Okay.
The archetypes, and then welcome both of them, both
Okay.
sides. You're welcome here. Yes, I have some preferences. Just see what happens when you welcome them both and see if anybody's pissy at you.
Well, I'm all up in my head because I thought, you again.
Okay, let's welcome. I'll draw in the little head here. Here's our mind. So welcome it.
Yeah, I thought I got the t-shirt on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Here's, you got a partial t-shirt at least, right? This stuff works in onions and layers or seasons. So you definitely had a t-shirt, but here's another t-shirt for it. Yeah. And always love the mind, right? The mind's like, it's the one who's like the, oh shit, thought we had this all taken care of, and it's analyzing it. So it's nice that it does it ultimately, because it is trying to help you. It was trying to get you that t-shirt. Thank you, mind.
you.
And then go, because you said you're so somatic, like just welcome the body. And just see what's happening in the body as you've got those different sides, and one's heavy and one's light. Go into that heavier one and that male side, right? And the oh shit side of it. And see if there's any kind of offering. Because it's been an ongoing thing, and probably you've been trying to get rid of it. And usually when we try to get rid of stuff, that which we hate hates us back, that which we resist persists. So just try and mea culpa. Like, oops, sorry. Been probably trying to get rid of you, or I've been maligning you a little bit. I might be wrong, but just try how that goes. That'll give us some information.
Okay, what did you say I was, what is the term you used? Amia.
Mea culpa, which is a sorry, apology.
Oh, okay.
Just checking to see if it's pissed at you a little, maybe a little miffed.
I feel myself distracted. Yeah, it's probably a coping mechanism.
That fuzziness. Yeah. So just thank brain for catching that, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a coping mechanism. Just welcome distracted, because you want to love that, because that ability to dissociate and distract probably served you really, really well before.
Very well.
Yeah. So you want to be really precious with it and thank it. Thank you, distraction.
Yeah.
Thank you, dissociation, my old friends. Thank you, valiant soldiers.
Okay, I'm okay to go on.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then back to the right side, back to the male, back to the heavier. Just see what happens.
I don't feel pressure on either side.
Okay, great. So a little something happened there, a little lightning happening.
Mhm.
Great. And just see if there's any communication from it. That's a communication in itself. It appreciated working through that layer of the distraction. Just sit with it. Just be with it. There's no rush.
How did you know I was feeling rushed?
Just a guess.
Mhm.
Also, these we tend to want to with whatever it is for each of us, we have our own flavors, but those things that we don't like and we don't fully understand yet, we can get frustrated with them. What they need is our presence. So just that feeling, if it's still in the body, right, go to that side and just bring your full presence and just say, I'm here. I'm here. And we're here, right? You're in satsang here. So we're all here backing you up. And just see what flashes or what happens as you just be present with it.
Nothing. I feel a settling.
Okay, yeah. So that's telling us some presence worked. So hello, settling. You are welcome. Now, there's a decision going on. So tell us a bit about this decision.
Well, as I said, I have a side hustle, some contract work with the company. It's not steady, but I love the work that I get to do, and I don't love the politics.
Yeah.
So I feel, similar to you, Essence, in that in some ways to actually be showing up to do the work. And even though I disagree with how they do things, feels like a conflict in some ways almost with my integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So this has always been this arrangement with this company, but now the company is evolving and they're moving ahead with a new vision. And I have a place with the training team. And I'm deciding whether or not I want to be part of moving this vision ahead or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I just got a hit on that side, that masculine side, and it's something that Jill brought into the container today and you've been working it. There's a polarity within masculine, right? There's toxic masculine, and I'm going to guess some of that oh shit is connected to that.
Okay.
But there's also, healthy, honorable masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, because you brought up integrity, that's a big word for healthy masculine.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if some of this heavier stuff on the right side that seems like oh shit and bad is actually connected to integrity. So just go check. It seems like the masculine side is doing something. It's, as we've been meeting it, it's been loosening, but there's been a tightening. There's been some sort of discomfort going on that it's been alerting. It's been communicating with you. And as you focus in on this team, right, and this training department in particular, just see what happens in that chest on that right side. How does it respond to this as I'm drawing it out, this company that has the politics and the training department, but they have a vision and they're trying to evolve here.
I feel like the conflict in integrity is mine.
Okay. That's the information. Good.
Yeah, is that I get to do this amazing work with amazing people all over the world. The cost of it is the politics and how the business is run does not align with what I believe.
Right.
So, and I have justified this in my mind by saying I get to do this beautiful work that helps people find what they're looking for.
So agree with the beautiful work, because that's not just justification, that's cool, right? So,
Yeah.
so just a deep bow and a yes, please to beautiful work. And yes, please to probably internationals. Yes, please, right? That probably really love that. So that's a yes, please. And then this stuff down here, this is going to be a no thank you. No thank you to doesn't align. And no thanks to how the business is run.
Yeah.
And definitely a yes please to integrity, right? That's probably why the masculine's piping up here is, hey, this is something to pay attention to. That's, you know,
Mhm.
just see as you're doing your yes please to the stuff that you do
Mhm.
prefer and your no thank yous to the stuff you don't. Just see what happens as you give those different sides of the equation their due.
What's really cool is that part of the new vision is more people have been brought in at the higher level, and they're all guys. You know, nothing against guys, but it's like there's like kind of suck the air out of the room. These particular guys.
So say no thanks to sucking air out of the room.
Yeah.
And just tell it, you're right, we don't like that.
No. And Christina, as I'm hearing myself speak out loud, I think I am more disappointed in myself that I would do this work, and yet still while I am conflicted about this company.
So now you've gone to that. So this is okay. Go to this layer, right? And just be with it, this disappointment in self.
Yeah, like, you know, what's the cost?
Yeah, so it isn't just all this up here, which is lovely and wonderful, but there is a cost.
Yeah.
Quite a significant one, because it's at the cost of your integrity.
That's what it feels like. I've justified this.
Mm-hmm.
All I've ever wanted to do is just this piece of work. And I go in and I do that piece of work and I feel 10 feet tall and so humble at the very same time. And yet those mofos, I can be mad at them because it's easier than being honest with myself, I guess.
Yeah, it's just going to the next level, right? So now you're just really going to go, okay, this isn't about them, because otherwise you're in victim mode, right? Like, so yeah, but now you're getting to, I'm not a victim. Like I'm the creator of my own reality, and I up till now have been justifying this, understandably, right? That would be happening. But now it's like you've been working these layers. Now you're just really like, whoa, now what's right in front of me is disappointment in self. And just seeing the cost, that there is a cost. Cost to integrity.
That's what it feels like. And the new vision is going to the next chapter beyond. And as I said, it's connected to my sense of belonging. I know that. Because this whole team might just carry on. And if I say, you know, ciao, ciao, everybody, then I have fear of missing out, FOMO.
Okay. So this is the next layer that's showing up, and you want to give it its due. So belonging is a key thing, right? In constellation work, it's one of the top 2 things with people, the orders of love. So it's not something to scoff at. It's huge. So it's part of what's been going on and keeping you here is, of course, you like to belong.
Yeah.
So just agree with belonging. Yes, please, to belonging. We like that. And we don't like to miss out.
I don't.
Yeah. So just honoring both of those. You're right.
And yet,
yeah,
if I release my connection to this piece, I've got more time to play.
Yes, please.
I do. Yeah.
And then who knows what unfolds, right? So go to the next level and you attract the next one that actually has integrity.
Yeah. It was hard to say out loud. It was great that I don't know lots of you. But I really appreciate you all sitting there, and, you know.
I'm sure there's lots of parallel processing going on. I know for me, I can certainly have great empathy for this. And quite a few people here are independent, so we know. And just like Matteo said, right, being internal too. It's the same. It's a dynamic whether you're internal or you're external. These things come up. They're tricky things to work ourselves through. And how beautiful for you to do the inner work to be able to honorably step by step do the layers, right? Instead of distraction, to actually be with that so you could see it.
Christine, I want to also say that another thing that is, I'm letting it make the decision more difficult, is that I have achieved, I remember I said a position within the group that that is kind of cool.
Yeah, so position, I don't know if it's status in there too, but just agree with that. Like that's, yes, please, we like that.
I don't know if I think it touches on status, but it touches on my story in that through my experience in challenging myself to train to do this work and then delivering has shown me something about myself that I hadn't felt previously.
Ooh.
Right? And so my tie to it is, I think I'm a little scared to let that go.
Mm. So welcome the fear. That's fears popping up. Yeah. And fear is the belonging. It's that stuff you saw, whatever that is. It's pointing us to fear. So fear, you are welcome here. Very natural human emotion. A lot of it going on in the world right now, understandably. So just, I always feel fear like this big monolith, you know, that 2001 monolith. I go, oh, it's like when it comes up, it's like, whoa, I don't know if that's how it is for you on your end, but come up and meet fear and don't do anything, just be with it.
Just feels like this big shield.
Just meeting that big shield, because that's interesting, shield, right? So probably some protection stuff in there.
Yeah. It's like stop. You might want to think this through.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But it's like stopping me, and yet I'm not stopped by it. I'm stopped physically by this, but I don't feel trapped here.
So just be with the shield.
Okay.
This is, my guess is kind of like with Matteo and nausea. So we want to respect it because it's probably coping mechanism stuff, right? And it might be the mind too. The mind's adding things up. Might very well be right. I don't know. So we just want to be respectful.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, Christina, how you drew that, because my shield I could see through, and that's how you drew it. I can see through it.
Well, that's it. That's interesting. You can see through the shield too. So that's the next layer of information. So just hello, being able to see through it.
Yeah.
Seeing through fear, seeing through the shielding
Mm-hmm.
of fear.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens as you recognize that you can actually see through fear. You can see through this shield.
It's almost like saran wrap. Like it's not really solid. I can see through it. I can move through it if I choose. That's cool.
So it's not an impenetrable barrier by the sounds of it.
Oh, it's cool. You're making these little saran wrap things here. That's cool. That's what it feels like. I'm stopped by it with a shield, yet I can see through it. And it's like, I know you.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise.
Yeah. And it's not going to completely block me, and I can see through it. It's still having the fear, seeing it come up in the body. Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a minute here.
Mm-hmm. I know what this is about. Understandable. Do a come here too. Probably parts are scared. Somebody in there's got that fear, right? So just being that, you know, the current adult, got it together,
Yes.
woman, right? And just put out an arm
Okay.
to the ones that are scared about letting go of this project, you know, and having the time for more play. That kind of freaks them out a little bit. So it's probably, it's got history. We don't need to know the history, but we know there's history, and probably very, they come by it honestly, why they're freaked out about having some play. So just bring them close. I'm here, come here, come here.
Yeah, it's way more fun over here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to look at those stuff and step away. We don't have to suppress our integrity. There's
No.
other places out there, and we can have more time here, and that will be creation and manifestation. More will come out by having some space. We attracted this at our level of development then, so from this new level of development, we'll attract something else. It's actually a good thing to have some time and some space and some puttering around time.
Mhm.
See how they respond as you kind of bring them close and reassure them. See if they have any yeah buts. You want to listen to their yeah buts.
Well, this may sound weird, but it was like my team on the other side there is like, phew, glad you figured that shit out so quick. Right? It's like almost like with relief.
Yeah.
You know, thought I was going to have to stay over here in this side.
So your team here is having relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're relief. So that's a good sign. They're like,
Yes.
yay, yay, we made this decision, and yay.
Well, remember you have that t-shirt. It's good to see you wearing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. This is so cool.
I
And
went
I-
on a journey, and
Yeah.
all I got was this crappy t-shirt. It's like I went on a journey and all I got is this fabulous t-shirt. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was awesome.
Just, yeah, beautiful. And just check, right? Go back to check on the right-hand side. Check on that where it was communicating with you. How is it now?
Balanced.
Nice. Okay, that's our sign. Good. Give me a title. Matteo, I didn't ask you for this, so if you want a title for yours, let me know and I'll put a title on yours. But I usually try to remember to ask my client. Oh, good, you had one. Did you? That's so cool. Put it in the chat for me if you haven't already, and I'll title yours. And Shelley, what do you want to call this? What's an appropriate title to put on the top of it? This self-inquiry.
Towanda.
Oh, yeah, cool. Now, help me, W-A-N-D?
It doesn't, if you're Towanda, it doesn't even matter how it's spelled because you do what you want.
I want to honor your Towanda to make sure
Thank you. though.
she's respected. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, good. Towanda, hell yeah.
Wow.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I thank you.
you're very welcome. My honor and pleasure. Okay, I'll do some more puttering with that. Okay. Stop the share, take a stretch. I'm gonna check in with Essence because I can go there. If you can go there, it might take more than 15 minutes. So if you do want to, let me know. And then for others, we'll see. This might be a place to say goodbye for anybody who wants to leave, anybody who wants to stick around. How are you time-wise?
I got a lot done from the other two.
Okay, good.
I've got pages.
Oh, awesome.
I'm my own rep.
That's the way it's
Thank
sometimes.
you.
Yeah, let's start there and hear that. Yeah, Heather's holding hers up too. Yeah, it was a good one, eh? Lots of parallel processing. Right on.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Want to share any highlights with us?
There's this list of about 10 people that I am grieving the loss of. Either I've chosen to move them or I feel like they're moving away. And there's a list of about 30 people that have been trying to move towards me. And so just recognizing that there's a growth and there's a growing and further maintaining occurring while other people who drain me primarily are dropping off. So that was a big piece.
See that tide happening, a tide shift is going on. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of shifts. I got the title for 2 books that I need to write.
Wow. Okay.
And ooh, just so much to unpack here. Attached to and grounded in truth. So no matter where I go, I'll probably get kicked out at some point when people don't want the truth. Lots of difference. A seed went to the plant world and picked up a seed and planted it. And there's, to me, the message that there's lots to learn from other than physical embodiment spaces. Yeah. And so look at the entire earth and what's available and move towards that. The indigenous, the unknown, that which is considered woo-woo, will inform a lot of the work I'll do.
It's also making me think with Shelley, how Shelley's team on the other side kind of popped out there. And I know you have a huge team on the other side too, right? So taking this present day dilemma, should I stay or should I go with this particular situation, right? The contract and the wounds, right? I'm wondering about their take on that, their advice, that bigger picture.
But
yeah.
I've been constantly hearing this message that I can't create and fight at the same time.
Mm.
And I'm choosing to create.
Mm.
That seems more appealing to me than fighting.
Okay, so you got your decision too. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How cool.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how the themes build on each other? That's often will happen here, and it blows me away every time. All three.
And I like
yeah.
what Shelley said about a side hustle. So I really have 3 or 4 of those that I need to make some decisions around if I'm going to actively work those or not, so that when these proposals come up that knock up against my sense of being, I don't have to accept them because there's a lack of funds elsewhere. So bringing side hustle to the forefront really helped.
Excellent. Okay, so even though we're not going to go in by it, it seems like the feel of it to do a full-on inquiry with you, it actually happens. So the process, the co-parallel processing moved your inquiry along too. Yeah.
Yeah, I adopted some of the words, side hustle, playtime, then there's work, then there's purpose. And I actually put love life on here. So these are the 5 areas I want to work in my life and have working in my life.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
good place to leave it for now?
Yep.
Well, that's who we were. It's different every time. So this was Process Pop-Up number 38, everybody. Thank you for coming. We can pass around the mic real quick. I'd love just if there's like a one-word checkout word, right? Anything to kind of sum up. It's okay wherever you're at. Sometimes we connect with the theme, sometimes we don't. But let me just pass around the mic. It gives me a little litmus test as you're leaving. Susan, what's your kind of checkout, if you don't mind sharing? Got a word to kind of sum up?
Refreshed.
Awesome, great, nice. Matteo.
That darn button. It's the title of that inquiry board, the artist formerly known as Matteo.
Oh, yeah, cool. That's cute. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Denise.
I think they both had crossroads. I like the idea of crossroads, but when you mix it in with grief, it sort of gets wonky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, grief will have its own energy that needs first attention. Yeah. Thanks, Denise. Jill.
Alignment is the one that really stood out for me. And then also asking, what does the mind want? What does the heart want? What does the gut want? And what do they need to align? Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, nice. Shelley.
Towanda.
Yeah, good. Yay. Pam.
Well, this is the first one of these I've been to. So the word that popped to mind was illuminating. And I feel like I really appreciate the openness of people. This is kind of really far outside my comfort zone. So it's a new thing for me. And so I really appreciate that I could just be here quietly and have my world be illuminated because you have been so open and sharing. So I appreciate that.
Expression of that. Thank you. Good to see you. And you'll be having more practice. You're in the satsang coming up, so you get a taste for it. Yeah. Essence.
I think Matteo gifted me with the word grief. And there's just been so much loss and separation in the last 2 years, physical separation. And I'm grieving some of these relationships that have moved to different places or their own corner of safety, such that I don't feel as connected and supported as I used to. So I'm really going to lean into that every day to find out where is that grief and, who have I missed by the world we're living in right now. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Are you calling on me?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. Something's wrong with my audio or something. Sorry. I love that first response, which was refreshed. I mean, that was my gut feeling as well. And I think if I were to think of another one, it would be connected. And I got to say, I'm going to go watch Fried Green Tomatoes now.
Well, thanks everybody. So I love doing these. It's kind of process work without a safety net, so to speak, right? And I trust the people who come. I trust what emerges and trust how it unfolds. And it's always a delight, and it was a real delight today. So thank you for the co-creation. I mentioned satsang. I may end up changing this name to satsang because it's certainly going that way, but it'll stick as Process Popup for now because people are aware of that. But I do have what's called a satsang, a visual satsang. It's my leading edge work. Last season, I created it. I guess actually the whole year. It started for 24 weeks and then one group extended, so went for another 12 on top of it. And so a new satsang is forming. You might have received an email last week. If the emails are getting through, sometimes they don't get through. It's on Saturdays from 10 o'clock Pacific for 2 hours. So 10 to noon Pacific. So that would be 1 to 3 Eastern. I keep it a small group, so it's around the size of what we have here, 10, 12 people. And we have a couple of spots left, 2 spots left. I'll do some more broadcasts on that in this next week. But if you're liking what's happening here, that happens over in the satsang, but it's private. And so the recordings are just shared with that group. And you're also with a consistent group of people over time. This next one will be for 16 weeks, so it'll take us into February. There'll be a break over the holiday time, the winter break. And who knows, that one may extend as well, depending on how many people in it want to keep going. But that's often what happens. You really bond. And there's a lot of diversity in many different ways happening in the world. And what I'm doing with these groups, and it's a real blessing, is we do have diversity of all sorts, thankfully, usually happening in the group. And that really gets, we deal a lot with triggers and reactions. So sometimes whatever you're triggered or reacted by is actually embodied in the group by somebody else. And watching them do their inner work and they watching you do your inner work builds understanding, right? And builds compassion and empathy and a bridge. So that's what it's about for me, which is the non-dual, right? Coming to oneness and unity. So if that lands for you, please think about it. Love to have you there. And there'll be others, hopefully, depending what happens in the world. And with me, I shouldn't say that, you know, because I've had things where I think they're going to keep continuing and they don't, but for various reasons. And sometimes it's my co-hosts and various things that have things going on. So anyway, touch on wood. I'm planning for that to happen, and it's a remarkable group that happens usually. Yeah. Okay, take care all. There's other stuff you can find on the site. The 50% off on the kits continues. I've just filled a new visual coach cohort for the certification, and I'll probably do another one April-ish, end of March, beginning of April. If not then September, but I think I'll go ahead with the spring cohort. So once my team and I can get the behind the scenes organized, I'll put out some announcements, but that's probably what's planned. Okay, take good care. Bye for now. Feel free to unmute and say goodbye so we can hear voices.
Bye.
you.
Great to see you, Matteo.
You too. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Very welcome.